Welcome to the age of instant gratification and the constant need to be connected to our social media accounts and other people's judgments. Join us as we have a look at some of the worst beauty treatments that ever went wrong. Fluorescent pink skin. If you've been to any mall in the United States, you've probably seen a store called LUSH, which caters to the crowd that enjoys organic skincare products made of all natural ingredients. And although we're not really certain what kind of company hands out bath products that may make your skin turn fluorescent pink, we honestly thought that this girl was posing next to a mutant who lived under a chemical waste plant. But it turns out that she was using a soap called Razzle Dazzle, which is from LUSH. It wasn't a soap at all though. It was a bath oil that was meant to be diluted and then added into the tub. So maybe next time she'll actually read the directions before she goes slathering on an unknown substance all over her body. Squiggle Brow. Now, we really wish that we were joking, but the Squiggle Brow is an actual thing and it's happening all over the place. If you've been on Instagram's beauty pages, you'll no doubt see that the eyebrow world has become a very scary place with all kinds of bizarre trends that are going on. Things like dragon brows, feather brows, and even barbed wire brows really make us ask ourselves, what is the world coming to? However, it's the Squiggle Brow that we just can't help but scratch our heads at because it has to be a beauty accident that's gone horribly wrong. The mastermind behind the trend, depending on which side you take for the Squiggle Brow, is beauty blogger Promise Tamang. Her inspiration came after she would see a photo that had been edited to make an eyebrow look wavy. Now, we don't really know how to feel about it, but we definitely don't want people seeing us out in public with this look. So I'll just quietly practice it in my own bathroom without the rest of the world's judgment. I mean, what? The false eyelash mishap. Most women, and perhaps even a few men, who go out of their way to get false eyelashes probably are expecting an awesome look that has much fuller lashes. However, what they're probably not expecting is that the treatment's going to make their real eyelashes fall right out of their head. One woman, in fact, would get a major surprise when soon after having false lashes applied by a beautician, the inner rims of her eyes began to turn red and painful due to a bad reaction. Her eyes have been healing, but they're so sensitive that she can't even wear mascara. It's always best to test out a patch with a lash glue before using it on your entire eye. And thankfully, it was just the eyelashes that she lost and not her entire eyesight. Hair tie abscesses. One woman noticed a large bump growing on her arm, which she ignored, thinking that maybe it was just a spider bite. You know, because a spider bite is something that you should ignore. Totally casual, raised bump, nothing to see here, and no chance that it could be poisonous and kill her in a few hours. When what she thought was a bite didn't go away after a few days, the woman then went to her doctor, who then informed her that it was a large abscess, which was caused by bacteria getting trapped under her hair tie. The abscess had to be surgically removed, and now we'll have to warn anyone with a hair tie around their wrist of the possible dangers, or maybe show them the disgusting photos of giant abscesses. Makeup brush paralysis. This is definitely a beauty horror story that no one should have to endure, but sometimes accidents do happen, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Now, we've heard of the kissing disease called mononucleosis, which causes children and adults to have high fevers, swollen lymph nodes, and swollen tonsils along with fatigue for a few weeks or maybe even a few months. It's transmitted through the saliva, but staph infections are another common problem when sharing objects with others. One young mother would learn the hard way that sharing might not always be caring after all, because she borrowed her friend's makeup brush to cover up a pimple. Soon, though, she discovered that her friend had contracted a staph infection on her face and noticed a sharp, unbearable pain in her back. She then had to be airlifted to have emergency surgery where they discovered that she had contracted an antibiotic-resistant form of golden staph. The woman will be confined to a wheelchair as the bacteria had attacked her spine and caused paralysis. But I'm sure that she's thankful that she's alive and able to spend more time with her children, and covered up her acne. Enhanced lips that go too far. Lip enhancements have been a major staple for plastic surgeons, and it seems like everyone and their mother wants to have fuller lips. Now, sure, this can be an ultimate and even expensive life goal, but there are safe ways to get the desired effect. A woman by the name of Jocelyn Wildenstein from New York City has earned herself the nickname the Lion Woman of New York. Now, let's just say that she's probably had one too many lip fillers, and it's starting to take its toll. If you're going to start lip enhancements, you're going to need to be 100% sure that it's how you want your face to look for the rest of your life. Jocelyn may have gone a little overboard with the whole plastic surgery obsession after trying to become beautiful enough to win back her ex-husband. It is truly sad and distorted, but it serves as a reminder that plastic surgery and more full lips may not solve all of your problems. Streamline eyebrows. One of the nice things about this trend is that it makes your eyebrows look extremely realistic. But if you're not going to splurge on an artist that knows exactly what they're doing, things can go horribly wrong. Unless you're trying to look like Bert from the Muppets minus the unibrow, then we just suggest that you steer clear of tattooed eyebrows for the time being. A permanent fail. Perms are pretty normal requests at beauty salons, but they're not for everyone, and sometimes they just turn out disastrous. But who knew that they could also prove to be deadly? One woman was so desperate to get her hair done that she ignored some pretty obvious telltale signs of having a heart attack. She would complain to her stylist of chest pains, and the staff immediately dialed 911, to which she became infuriated because she wouldn't be able to finish her hair, and she didn't want to have to get in the ambulance. As it turned out, the hairstylist would save her life, but the only thanks that she got was a phone call a week later, informing her that she had given the woman the worst perm of her life. We think that she may be taking her hair routine a little too far. Brazilian wax STI. Brazilian waxes are no walk in the park, and they're usually a little messy of an ordeal that should be done sparingly. However, when they have the potential to cause an STI called molluscum contagiosum, which kind of sounds like a Harry Potter spell, we really want to look at the benefits of the service. As it so happens, it's a contagious skin infection that's quite often passed around by children. So how it ended up at an upscale salon in Manhattan is really kind of a mystery. The woman who contracted it has vowed to never get one of these waxes done again, and also she's actually thankful that it's not herpes. So there's that, I guess. However, shiny itchy dots all over your private parts doesn't sound like a walk in the park, and we hope that you'll think twice next time you step into a questionable looking salon. Post-facials gone horribly wrong. A facial is supposed to be one of the best ways to take care of your skin since it uses products that cleanse and nourish it and helps you look younger. It's actually one of the second most popular spa treatments after a massage. But we're sure that this beauty blogger won't get another facial for a long time, if ever. Singapore beauty blogger Bun Bun has a reputation to uphold as a makeup connoisseur, where she gives expert makeup advice on her blog. But after a facial debacle that had her complexion looking like something out of a horror movie for 5 days, she may be reconsidering. She would even keep a journal of her experience, as her face had a severe allergic reaction from the facial. It just goes to serve as a warning that just because something claims to make you look beautiful, there may be some adverse reactions that go along with it. Foot spa horror. Thinking about it, we're kind of curious to know why people would waste good money to stick their feet in a big vat of water where other people also stick their feet. It just kind of feels like there's nothing really sanitary about it. And that's why this next beauty treatment gone wrong doesn't seem quite so shocking. There was a sudden outbreak of bizarre sores that were only experienced by pedicure customers frequenting the same California salon. So it could all be traced to that same popular place pretty easily. Now, if you're going to be in the spa service, it's actually important to follow one simple rule. Clean, clean, and clean. Clean everything, because people are dirty and their feet are gross. And apparently feet mixed with unclean whirlpool foot spas are actually the perfect breeding ground for bacteria, which these customers found out firsthand, or in this case, first foot. When baldness strikes. When was a popular infomercial hair product that raked in millions of dollars. That was until women all over the place began claiming the product was causing sudden hair loss and then baldness. In 2010, the company made $100 million, and that's because the product is by no means cheap at $30 per bottle. The product even claimed to be all natural and strengthen your hair, but for some reason, women have had the complete opposite experience. And it's no wonder that so many women, and actually some men, are suing the company for their false advertising. Now, it's important to research any product that you buy beforehand so that you know all of the side effects and dangers that come along with using it. And also, we're kind of curious why some people would admit that they didn't stop using it the first time they noticed clumps of hair falling out, but instead would blame it on another source and continue to use the when. Hair dye nightmares. Dyeing your hair is a fun and adventurous way to give yourself a new look. You know, maybe when you're going through that punk rock phase. But it can also turn out to be pretty costly. In hospital bills, that is. Now, if you're going to a professional and you have sensitive skin, you should probably let the stylist know beforehand that you may have an allergic reaction. And if you're using a home dye kit, then you should probably only do a small section of hair before using the entire product, because otherwise you may end up looking like some poor souls. Those who had a swollen face from an allergic reaction to the dye. Now, it's usually one chemical known as PPD that people are allergic to, but it's just better to be safe than sorry. And we completely understand if you never want to take a walk on the wild side of hair dye again. It's no mystery that some people will go to extreme lengths just to look a little younger, get rid of a few wrinkles, or make their lips a little poutier. But how far is too far? Coming up, we share some of the most bizarre beauty treatments that people put themselves through in order to look and feel their best, including leech therapy to promote blood circulation, the use of animal placentas to tighten the skin,